Hello, today I'm going to talk about judgment and lessons we can learn ourselves from being judged and judging ourselves. Now, very often we have a negative view of being judged or judging ourselves, and we very often feel that we're judged wrongly. And the judgment card, when it comes up when I do a reading, means that people feel they're being judged wrongly and also feel that they're being judged wrongly by others. And it can often lead to a lot of stress, and feeling down and low like this card. But there's always light at the end of the tunnel, and it's what we do and how we think about being judged or judging ourselves. When we get judged, it's not always a bad thing. Sometimes we need that little bit of constructive criticism or somebody to look at our actions. When I'm very often getting judged on my spelling, on my grammar, and being dyslexic, it's a bit annoying for me and it sometimes upsets me. And I like people to judge me on that, and I send email stuff away for other people to read them. So I found a coping mechanism for dealing with that. And you can see through some other blogs, there's many coping mechanisms you can use to help you overcome some of the obstacles in life. And when we learn lessons, and one of the things, this goes back to big companies when I worked in big corporate organizations. And I remember looking, and I was in charge of a lessons learned database and started reading it. And not being an engineer and just being somebody like an ex-chef who was looking at this engineering project just out of interest, how lessons learned are captured and what we do with lessons in life and business and with our children, etc. And what I found is a lot of the lessons weren't carried forward from earlier projects to the new projects that were happening, and very similar mistakes were being made, which led into thousands of pounds being wasted or mismanaged through not looking at the lessons we learn. So that taught me in self, if we apply that to our lives, and see it's being judged as a good thing rather than as a negative thing. And yes, we will get these people who are judged us wrongly because they don't know or understand the situation we're in, or understand what we're up to or doing, or why we have a certain viewpoint. And it's like you've got to, first of all, believe in yourself. If you believe that you're doing is right, of the education you've had, the learnings you've gained, and you believe that to be right in what you are saying, doing, and the way you're acting, like acting with integrity, following your core values, and it's something worth, standing up for as well, and just being yourself without judging the other person for judging you. Because not understanding, it causes a lot of, you could say, jealousy sometimes, and we know where that takes us. And I always say to people who are maybe jealous of somebody who's got the big fancy car or got the big house, and saying, let that inspire you rather than let it annoy you, because that should inspire you to take action. It's not that they're better or worse than us, or we think they're better than them. Just let it inspire you and put thanks you to the universe for showing you that way forward by seeing how well that person can do. And very often, successful people will tell you how they do it, and they'll tell you in books, because people like to brag or boast about their successes and about their achievements. Very often they don't tell you how hard it was to get there in the first place and how many failures that they had to get there. But one thing they'll always do is to tell you to keep going and have happy thoughts. We've got to have the happy, positive thoughts and see it in our minds. And one of the things I teach a lot of my clients to do is write that letter from the future as if you've already achieved something. And you'll see that in my SMART goals methodology, when we kind of visualize things happen that we've already achieved in my workshops and forward thinking and stuff like that. We're planning, we assume that we've achieved it before we actually achieve it. And that sets the process going in our heads and sets the attraction going and sets the positive thoughts. But sometimes take a step back and just have a laugh. And sometimes we need laughter, and have that laughter. And the key thing is when we're relaxed and we're not taking seriously what other people think or believe. If I was to take seriously what everybody thought of me, then I would have stopped doing what I'm doing years ago. And not everybody will be able to be pleased or happy with what I do or work, etc. We can never please everybody all the time, but we can do our best and we can listen to the constructive criticism, and we can try and please these people. And it's all about listening and moving forward. It's not about taking it to the heart and really getting upset about it. And that's when we get into the paranoia type stuff, and we have to use all these serious coping mechanisms like the CBTs and NLPs to get out of that negative feeling. And the best thing is just to be yourself. Just be yourself. Now, I've got a lot of tips and help and advice in this blog. And if you need a chat or if you need a session, whether it's a card session to look at your options for the way forward, or a life coaching session where we can set some plans down, and please call me. My purpose in life and my mission statement is to enlighten others to succeed through life's challenges, people like you. And you can succeed. You've just got to believe it. Thanks for listening.